The deeper scientists explore the red planet, the more strange phenomena and structures they discover on the Martian surface. As one of Earth's closest planetary neighbors, Mars has long captivated humanity with the prospect of extraterrestrial life just a short rocket trip away. To date, although no signs of life have been detected, space agencies like NASA continue to explore the Martian sky and surface using advanced rovers. The images they capture of strange structures and shapes persistently fuel hope and spark curiosity among sky-gazing enthusiasts. Here are some strange objects discovered on Mars that, at first glance, seem out of place on this dry and dusty planet. Many of these cases may be the result of pareidolia, a psychological phenomenon in which people unconsciously perceive familiar shapes, such as faces or objects, in random or abstract patterns. However, some of them might also contain clues to answering a long-standing question: did life ever exist on Mars? In a photo shared by the University of Arizona in January 2023, there is an object that looks exactly like the face of a giant teddy bear on the surface of Mars. Posing for a picture with NASA. This adorable formation may be a landslide-ridden hill within an ancient volcanic crater, but according to scientists, it is the most delightful pile of cosmic debris ever discovered. The sight of branches spreading out resembles a small coral mass. This is the delicate mineral flower, the thing most resembling a plant that humans can find on Mars today. Scenes of mineral deposits like these are common across Mars, resulting from ancient water interacting with the long-standing rock layers. However, NASA researchers stated that they rarely encounter such a perfectly formed flower-like deposit. You will see two round rocks of the same type, looking slightly less impressive, located on the right side of the coral reef. In February 2022, the Curiosity rover discovered this flower-like geological feature. Could this perfectly carved door be evidence of alien existence on Mars, or is it merely the remnant of an ancient city? Disappointingly for conspiracy theorists, the truth is far simpler. It's merely an eroded rock formation, captured from a perfectly misleading camera angle. The photo was captured by NASA's Curiosity rover in 2022. Is it possible that extraterrestrial beings once roamed the surface of Mars, leaving fossilized traces imprinted in the rock layers? In 2018, a researcher made a controversial claim, stating that the captured images were rod-shaped structures. Each structure is the size of a grain of rice, interwoven on a Martian rock. NASA researchers were quick to dismiss these claims. They pointed out that Earth also has countless similar features, particularly in areas where water has pooled and then evaporated, such as in dry lake beds. Their presence on Mars is further evidence confirming that rivers and lakes once existed on the red planet in the past, but they do not prove that any life ever existed on its surface. In 2004, NASA's Opportunity rover discovered these geological spherules on Mars. The iron-rich pebbles, polished and rounded by flowing water billions of years ago, are some of the earliest evidence scientists have that Mars was once an incredibly wet planet. Each spring, thousands of spider-like black objects crawl out of their hibernation near Mars' south pole. Of course, they are not actual spiders. This seasonal phenomenon is the result of sublimation, when the buried layer of carbon dioxide ice transforms directly into gas as the weather warms. The newly released gas penetrates through the surface ice layers, carrying black dust that splashes onto the ground in unpredictable patterns. In order to be observable from outer space, these structures must be very large. According to the European Space Agency, ESA, the diameter of each structure ranges from 45 meters to 1 kilometer. Near the south pole of Mars, there exist strange structures that resemble the ruins of a vast, ancient city. Dubbed the Inca City due to its resemblance to actual South American ruins, this strange stone structure was likely formed from tall sand dunes that petrified over millions of years. However, its exact origin remains a mystery to this day. This labyrinthine structure resembles a spider, forming part of a giant circle with a diameter of 86 kilometers. This has led scientists to suspect it may be the remnant of a much larger impact crater, formed by a meteorite striking Earth centuries ago. A solitary boulder, strikingly lonely. This unusual white rock formation has been named Atoko Point, after a similar light-toned geological feature on Grand Canyon. Based on analysis from NASA's Perseverance rover, it is likely composed of the minerals pyroxene and feldspar. How could such a pure white stone appear amidst a group of rocks so dark? It may have fallen from the crater rim, or been carried into the crater floor from elsewhere on Mars by raging rivers flowing across the landscape. While climbing symmetrical sand dunes in 2021, NASA's Curiosity rover discovered the remains of what looks like a tiled floor on Mars. Dozens of interlocking polygonal structures, cutting through layers of exposed soil and rock, mostly pentagonal or hexagonal in shape, have been dated to between 3.8 and 3.6 billion years ago. These rough, cracked mud patches had endured years of drying out and then absorbing moisture, repeating this cycle endlessly. They may have formed during a period when the water level in the crater lake repeatedly rose and fell, causing polygonal cracks on the surface to appear and disappear over time, until a final drought arrived, permanently preserving them as we see today. In 2015, NASA's Curiosity rover captured an image showing an object that looked exactly like a wooden spoon hovering above the surface of Mars, complete with its shadow cast on the ground below. Of course, it's merely an optical illusion. The spoon is, in fact, just a piece of rock that has been shaped and polished by the wind over millions of years, also known as a ventifact. Tay Cam is a spoon-shaped rock formation that juts out from a larger boulder. Its rounded head hovers above the ground, casting a sharply defined shadow. The south pole of Mars is typically covered by a massive ice cap. However, when this ice melts during warmer weather, ancient red patterns in the underlying sediment are gradually revealed. This image, captured by the European Space Agency's ESA SpaceX Brad spacecraft, shows an angel-like pattern next to a heart-shaped one. Both of these familiar structures are the result of meteorite impacts, which scraped away the dark surface soil of Mars to reveal the brighter sediment beneath. This appears to be an impact crater created by a meteorite on the surface of Mars, but it could also be something far more interesting, a potential shelter for future astronauts. This pit, several meters in diameter, was imaged by NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter in 2022 on the slope of a massive volcano named Arsia Mons. This pit runs along a lava flow and resembles a collapsed tunnel, potentially connected to a deep cave system beneath the volcano. Although the exact depth of this cavity has not yet been determined, it could become an ideal shelter for future explorers, those who need a space shielded from the intense radiation on the Martian surface. Thank you all for watching this video.